If somehow you have landed on this video and was intrigued to open it, then there is a message for you. No matter what sign you are, what day it is, what month it is, what year it is. I wanted to put these videos out here because a lot of times I am feeling some energy for the collective, but unsure on how to relay the messages. So I'm hoping this will relay the messages that certain people need to hear. My name is Leslie from PrayNite, and I am a psychic intuitive. And it has been a crazy year in 2020. In fact, I myself had to go deep within because the collective energy was just so strong. So here we are when I'm recording this at the beginning of 2021. And yes, the energies are still very strong. But I have been called to put out a general message, and I may do this frequently as I'm called to do so. So I will be reading from a variety of tarot card decks. I will meditate and share that meditation with you. Instead of doing it before the reading, I will do it with you. Another reason I want to put this out there is to help facilitate your own intuition. All of us have the capability of being intuitive and seeing beyond. I mean, you may know this already. You may think of someone and they send you a text, or they call you, or you hear from a friend about them. That is your intuitive navigation, shall we say. And for some people, it's easier to be open and aware of the energy. And other people, they find it difficult. And I know this from my personal readings that I've done for many years in the past, where I see someone is blocked and trying to access that energy and they're unable to. And they really, really want to try. And it's more difficult, whereas some people can naturally be open and they can understand the energies. So I'm hoping that these readings that I do online will help facilitate your own intuitive guide. And so I want to bring you in closely and almost make you part of the reading itself. So I'm going to be sharing the cards in a close view so you can tap into your own intuition. And if you feel a specific message for your own self and your own life, take note of that because it's very important. So the cards that I show you, and I'm going to try to be very descriptive as I go through this reading, I want you to feel into the words I may be saying or the pictures that you may be seeing in these cards. And I'm hoping this will help guide you through what I hope is going to be a more stable time that we have, but I also know that we need to really go within when the things without are not so stable. So, to begin this reading, I am going to be using the soul cards. Now, these cards have no meaning. So, when you use general tarot decks, like the Rider-Waite and the Toth, each card has a specific meaning. The soul cards do not. They are just to help tap into your intuitive guidance. Now, these are the cards that I use when I meditate prior to a reading. It helps me uncover the energies that will take over the reading. So I'm going to share this card with you, and I want you to tap into what you feel as I am going through the reading myself. And you may hear a word I say, or you may see something in the card that triggers you. Pay attention to that, note it, and keep it in the back of your mind because it will help guide you as things happen in the near future, and it could be the far future, that will help trigger you to say, oh, I remember this. All right, so let's begin. So I'm going to shuffle the deck. When I do, I always let Spirit guide me. I don't pick the card, I let the cards pick for me. So a card jumped out of the deck. And as you can see from this photo, it is almost a magical card. It is, when I look at this card, I see that you are protected. There is protection. And as you see the person who is over the other person, I feel protection. But I also feel, by looking at this card and by tapping into the energy, there's a hopefulness that that person is with them. And I feel like this person, meaning you, that you are looking for almost a sign from that person. So you see this person's hands are up in the air, reaching above, trying to go above their head. And they are looking straight ahead. So to me, I feel this is an energy of you looking to the future or what's directly in front of you in this moment. So whether it's a decision you're trying to make, whether it's a problem you are having, whether it's just a general conversation, you are reaching up to say, show me a sign. So when I meditate and look on this card and try to tap into the energy, I'm feeling that show me a sign. Now, finding this video might have been a sign for you. And I'm very, very big on law of attraction. I use it in my own life. I see evidence of it on a daily basis. And this card is just saying believe. It's kind of saying that even though you can't tap in, so you see this person is barely, one of the hands is barely touching the person above, who they cannot see, by the way. They want you to know you are not alone, that there is guidance for you. And this is for everyone. What we cannot see doesn't mean there's no energy there. The other thing I feel this could mean is that there is a person who is not aware of that next level and trying to say, help me. Because I do feel this also from this card as another energy of help me. What do I do? So that tells me that if you are attracted to this video and attracted to this message, that there is something that you're looking for answers to. Now, the other thing I just picked up while I was looking at this card is that there could also be excitement here. So maybe there is something that has excited you, and you're excited but you're alone, and you want somebody who is no longer with you. Now, this could be somebody who's on the other side, but it could also be somebody who's not in your life anymore. And you're wishing that they were with you as you were experiencing this moment. And this message is to confirm the fact that they are here with you. So wonderful. I just get the chills. I know Spirit is around all the time. So this is not surprising, and it's not surprising to me that this was the card that was picked for this engagement into this message that I got to do this specific video. So wonderful here, and I'm going to leave this on the table as well. Now I'm going to begin the tarot card reading, and I'm going to start off with the Mary L. Tarot deck. Now I enjoy the art, and it has to resonate with me for any deck that I use. And I have various decks, and when I'm doing a personal reading, I usually meditate on which cards I'm going to be using for the reading. And they are different for everyone. But when I was guided to do this video, and it came to me in the middle of the night, that I needed to do this. 2 decks that I never use. I don't know that I've ever read from the Marielle Tarot. I love the deck, but I've never read in a personal reading or on my many online readings that I do. I never have been called to this. But for some reason, it's been sitting. I think I've had this deck for over 5 years, and it's just been sitting. And this was the deck that was called to me for this video. So pay attention. I'm going to show you again each card and help you facilitate your own intuition. That's really what I'm trying to do here. Not to tell you what to do, not to tell you how things are going to be, but to help you understand the energy and give your own intuition a chance to awaken. Because I feel in these times we all need to tap within to be awakened to our own truths. And in finding our own truths, we will find the truth collectively. This is a collective journey that we're on now. And I'm recording this in the beginning of January 2021. And I'm not sure why, but I need to have this message out here. So let's begin. So I'm going to shuffle the deck the same way that I do. This is a very large deck, so it's clumsy. I have very small hands, but I feel that I need to do this. So I do a 9-card spread. I don't follow the Celtic Cross or any of the formula. I'm mostly an intuitive reader. I've found that when I try to follow structure, it doesn't work for me. So as you see, the first card that I pulled here is the 7 of Discs. Now, right away you can see how beautiful these cards are. They're very magnetic. I was called to them as soon as I found them and had to have them, but wasn't sure why. Now I know why. So you see this 7 of Discs. And this card is all about finding out what resonates with you in life. As you see, all the different discs there have different symbols on them. There's a moon, there's Venus, I see Saturn. These are all parts of you and what you're putting out into the world. And as you see how there is a light jutting to the sun or the sunset with fire, almost like fire. I look at that blue, is the fire coming from those discs. And right away it tells me that we're propelling forward in our lives, in our journeys. And we're looking to find and follow what resonates with our heart. Anytime I see the sun, I always think of resonating in your heart. Even when you look at all the other indications, astrology, anything else, the sun is the heart. It's the fire. It's what makes you feel alive. And I feel that all of these discs and showing the different symbols are showing us the different parts of us that are helping us to move forward in the right direction. So when I look at Mercury, which is a symbol on one of the discs, that's how we communicate to another person. How we communicate does mean how we are going to move ourselves forward, in what way we communicate to another. When I see the moon, how are we driven emotionally to connect in our world to help move us forward? It's not about keeping us where we are, but how can we move forward and move forward confidently, knowing that we're headed in the direction that resonates with our heart. We also see Venus. How do we love? How do we love someone? And are we using our love to propel us forward? We see Saturn. Saturn is all about the rules and the established responsibilities that we have given ourselves. Are we taking responsibility for our actions to help move us forward? Are we being accountable? I look at those type of words for Saturn. We see, I think that's Jupiter there. Jupiter I look at as the possibilities, the excitement of life, and how we are excited to move forward and see the possibilities of where we can go, and that there is a sun over there on the other side that we are moving toward. So it is super exciting to start the reading with this card. So that's wonderful. Now I'm gonna pull another card here. And then what I'll do is after each card I pull and explain the card, I will combine it into a general intuitive reading when I see all 9 cards together and what that message is that needs to be said. So the next card, and it looks pretty intense, it's the King of Wands. Now in tarot, the king, any of the king, the queen, the knights, the pages, they can be people. But they also can be part of us. And Wands is all about action. It's all about wanting to take action. And this tells me, and because it coincides with the first card I just pulled, this tells me that, yes, they're confirming it is action. It is action that we want to take. But we're also looking at what action is it that we're going to take. Trying to meld all of those areas I just talked about, how we're going to meld them together so that we're moving together in the right direction and finding our footing. So that's wonderful. All right, so now I'm going to pull another card. We're on the first, and I got the Page of Wands. Again, another Wands. Wands again is action. Now the page can be a message, a messenger. So when I first see these together, I think and feel that there may be a message from someone else to help guide you on how to move forward. This person can be younger than you. Sometimes a page will be someone younger. But it also is a messenger. Something is going to cause you to act. And you're ready to act. I can see that right away from this spread so far. It's all about actions. But the actions are for stability. The 7 of Discs is all about stability. Being stable, having all of these aspects that I talked about, all of these individual discs, which are part of us, making sure that they're balanced. So when you first look at the 7 of Discs, you see it's fairly balanced, but it's not exactly balanced because life is never exactly balanced. If we had 3 discs on one side and 3 on the other, that would be utopia. That would be a perfect world. But unfortunately, life doesn't give us balance all the time. We have to balance the scales ourselves. We have to see what is missing. Why is one side missing something and the other is that taking over? What is happening with that extra disc or that extra element that we have? All right, so moving on. The next card I'm getting is the Page of Swords. And this card is pretty intense. When I look at it, I think, wow, right away you have this feeling, right? And this is all about tapping into your intuition. What do you feel when you look at this card? You go, oh, it's like in my face, right? In my face. And it's a Page of Swords, which also swords indicates communication. And as I said before, the page can be a messenger or it can be someone younger. So when I feel into this card, being aware of the cards that I just pulled, knowing that you have choices to make, where are you going to lead to your heart's content, that you're ready to take action, that you may have an impetus or something that's propelling you forward, whether it's something you read, someone you talk about, a younger person giving you that message, or now with the Page of Swords, it is all about, to me, I look at conflict here. I look at somebody is also wanting to communicate to you. So to me, that means there may be somebody or you yourself wanting to communicate with you in regards to some sort of action. So if you have not been communicating with someone, this can mean that someone might come in to give you a message, tell you hello, kind of almost in a synchronicity way of what they have to say is going to help decide for you on how to move forward. So they may give you a message that says, that's what I was looking for, now I can move forward. Now, the other thing that I had said to you, when I look at this card, I see in your face. And when those type of quotes come up, I take them very seriously. So someone may be in your face. Someone may say something very boldly. Someone may say something that just causes you this feeling of, what? What did you just say to me? That can come up as well. You see that at the top of the card here, there is it looks like something is lit up with almost like, I don't know, in the throat area here, and also within the chest area. There's a black one. So you see a white one up in the throat area, and you see a black one in the heart area or chest area. To me, that is opposition right there. So what your heart may not feel, your throat will say. So it's opposite. So either to me, I see it's all about either not listening to your heart and saying what you think is supposed to be said, or feeling in your heart but not being able to say it. So to me, when I look at this, I think there's an opposition there of what you're feeling and what you're saying. So to me, that means that there is some sort of balance that you need to find where you can say what you feel. And it's okay, because that's going to actually help move you forward. And again, this whole feeling, and if you remember, the soul card that I pulled talked about you are not alone, and there is guidance for you, even though you may not be able to see it. This to me says, have courage. Have courage in what you feel. Say what you feel. Don't hold back on what you need to say to another person. And with these pages here and you wanting to move forward, that's the message. What it means to you is in your own terms. All right, so moving on here. The next card I got here is the Four of Cups, and this is lovely. So different than the other cards that I've pulled, this is serene. It's a beach. It's a seashell. But you see there's a wave crashing. There is a feeling of belonging, of where do I belong? What makes me feel like I can make an impact? The Four of Cups is almost like and then looking at this card, and I really want you to pay attention to these cards because it's going to help you, like I said, open up your intuition. You may be focused on that crashing wave when you look at this card. Why? That's the first question I want to ask you. If you have right away looked into this crashing wave, why? What is it about this wave? What is it that doesn't feel at home to you? Why are you focused on the negative versus the positive? Which, when I look at the shell, I automatically feel calm. I feel like I'm part of Mother Nature. I feel like I'm part of the earth, and I feel grounded. The shell is sitting on the ground. It is solid. It is magical almost in a way. You know, when you lift a shell up to your ear and you hear that sound, there's something mesmerizing about that sound. It's like hypnotic. You feel hypnotic. And if you focused on that particular item on that card, then you need to feel grounded, or you want to feel grounded, and why can't you? Because I feel like there's a little bit of unrest. Even though this is a beautiful scene, I'm feeling from this card intuitively that there is something unrest in you. And looking at the other cards that have been pulled, I say, well, what is not resonating with you in your heart? There's something. You're looking at choices. You're ready to take action, but you're not sure what that action is. Do you need to communicate with someone to help you take that action in your life? Will somebody communicate to you in a way that stops you in your tracks to say, hey, I know what I need to do this moment forward. All right, so moving on. Going to pull the 6th card, and I got the 2 of Swords. So again, these are beautiful cards. I just love looking at them. A beautiful card. The 2 of Swords represents an indecision. Which way do I go? What do I do? So as you can see, the theme of this reading is starting to take place. You can see how it builds on each other, and the story is unfolding about you trying to make a decision. There are 2, below the wings, it's like I don't know what you call that, a wishbone. It's like a wishbone coming out. And in that wishbone, and as I said wishbone, the candle just went out. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but that is a sign for me to say, whatever I just said, wishbone, call attention to that. But there are 2 different ways you can go. And at the bottom, there are 2 triangles. And one has a symbol upside down on the triangle and one doesn't. And it's weighing out your options. Well, what do you do? So if you are feeling unrest, if someone was just in your face, or you're not speaking your own truth, this is where you have to come to terms with, how do I speak my own truth? How do I say what my heart is reflecting? And how do I come to terms with that so I can move forward? So very, very interesting. All right, so now I'm going to pull the 7th card out of my 9-card spread. This card wants to come out here. And we have the 3 of Discs. So this is lovely. So you can see here, there is a family. There looks like there is a mother and a father and a baby. And they're both adoring that child. And their hands are wrapping around tight. There is in the 3 of Discs a purpose. To me, when I look at the 3 of Discs as a tarot card, it's all about what is your purpose. What are you here to do? What are you here to manifest? And the card showing the manifestation is in a baby form. So it's a physical manifestation of another human being. Now this can be literal, where there's something about wanting to create something, to create a life. Is it literal for you? Are you looking to create a life? Are you thinking about your life, having created that life? Is it about creating a project? Is it about creating something solid? Are you looking to open a business? Are you looking to dive into some sort of project of your own that makes you feel at home? Going back to that 4 of Cups, where you may feel a little bit of unrest there. I really look at that card as I'm feeling unrest. Someone was in your face, that in your face, not speaking your truth. Why can't you speak your truth? What is it that you want to do that you don't feel comfortable doing? What do you want to manifest that for some reason is keeping you away from it? You also, when I look at this card, it's all about protection. when I look at the Page of Swords directly above this card, I see maybe that there's protection of your heart. Maybe you don't want your heart to feel exposed or unprotected. And maybe you do feel alone. Going back to that Soul card, you always have to remember we meditated on being alone and that you're not alone. So what is it about creation? Creating. We all create our own lives. We create every moment that we have. And we create it by, when I talked about the 7 of discs, in the very beginning, we create it based on what we say, how we feel, how we love, how we communicate. How can we communicate to help feel protected, to feel that it's okay to be vulnerable? It's okay. If it resonates with your heart, why can't you decide on, going back to the 2 of Swords, decide how to move forward? All right, so now we're going to move on to the 8th card. And we get the Tower. Now, looking at this card, I love the artwork, but looking at this card, it almost looks ominous in a way. And if you look at the tarot meaning, the Tower, it's, you know, when you look at the Rider-Waite, it's someone jumping out of a building, like electrified. I actually did a reading once for someone where I got the Tower, and it was a long distance reading. And I actually pre-taped it. And the Tower came up. And it was just very interesting because the card I got had lightning bolt hitting a building. And this person literally was in the airport, and the airport got struck with lightning. And that was the only card I had pulled from them. They had just asked me via text to pull a card, and what do you know? The airport gets hit with lightning. So it can be very literal about the shock, right? The shock of what just happened? I mean, what just happened? But the Tower is also to help us move out of that which we can't get out of on our own. So when I say about the Page of Swords, when I talked about that heart and mind coming together, the reason is that if your heart is not with your mind, something has to make your mind be in sync with your heart. So that's what I have to say for that. So look at where in your life you need to shake that up. Where is it that you don't feel safe? Where is it that you need some confirmation that you are right in moving forward in the way that your heart believes? That's so important for all of us. Okay, so the last card that I'm pulling from the spread is the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is really about endings. It's about taking that long journey and finalizing that journey. So maybe this, in closing this reading, and again, I'm going to clarify some of these cards as well, but in closing this reading, where is it that something needs to end? Where is it that something needs to be forgotten and left behind in your life? Now, as we look at all of the cards and everything that I just mentioned to you, it's so important to understand that this is a journey for you to come into terms with being okay with who you are as you are and what you believe, and not worrying about what someone else may say to you, and being afraid, being blocked. And I keep going back to this Page of Swords because I really feel like this is a blockage of somebody saying something to make you feel like you cannot make a decision. You cannot take that step forward in your life, which is so important. You are free. What came to me just now is you are free to go. You are free to go. You are free to move, to take that journey. Understand that you have the capabilities to take that journey and move forward in the direction that you want to go. and looking at the spread and remembering how we started this reading about you are not alone. That no matter if you're celebrating something or wishing someone was here or getting that confirmation from someone to tell you that what you're doing is right, you have that confirmation. And that confirmation is within you. It is within your heart. It is what will lead you forward. And nobody can take that away from you. Nobody. And you have to sit and feel that, because this is your journey towards that sun. When we talked about the 7 of discs, moving forward towards the sun, moving toward your heart. What resonates from you? What resonates with you? That's the message I'm getting here. And I said I wanted to clarify, but I don't feel I need to clarify here. I feel that this message is pretty clear. It's very clear. And I need you to think about taking an action that resonates with you and feeling safe about it and feeling love within your choices. We all have choices to make in our lives, how we move forward. And we talked about the 7 of discs, okay? That is about choices. That is about what choices we have. Then we go to the 2 of swords, where I'm not sure which choice that I need to make in my life. Why is that? Is it because you feel the unrest in the 4 of cups? Is it because somebody was in your face and you don't know how to communicate what you feel in your heart? Is it because you're determined that you want to move forward, being the King of Wands? Is it because somebody has ignited you with either a conversation or an action that says you can do this, but you feeling not secure? The 2 of swords, I'm not sure. What do I feel safe? The 3 of discs, do I feel safe? Do I feel safe in my life? What needs to change in your life? The Tower, what do I need to shake up in my life so that I do feel safe? Having it next to the 3 of discs says, I want to be safe. We all want to be safe. We all want to be protected. Back to that soul card I picked in the beginning. We all want to feel protected. We all want somebody to be there for us, have our backs. The 10 of Wands says, end the journey that no longer speaks to you. That's your message. End the journey that no longer speaks to your heart, that no longer helps get you towards that sun that we wanted to go through in the 7 of discs. That's where you need to be taken. And that will help reach into your heart and soul. So this is something for you to think about. Again, you can play the video over, look at these cards, let them resonate with you. See if my message prompts anything in you. You may see something totally different in this reading that I have not mentioned here, and that's fantastic, because that tells me that you're tapping into your intuition and you are saying, wow, I can feel something from that card. I may find something in the reading that you may resonate with, but maybe not. Maybe there's something in this Page of Wands, when you look at that, you may feel something totally different than what I did. You need to pay attention to that. And that's where you shouldn't listen to me. You should listen to you. This is all about helping you facilitate your own intuitive guidance. We all have it. It's just trying to be open to it, to really feeling your heart and what you believe. And everybody has their own beliefs, and that's a personal thing, and that's a wonderful thing. I am all about everybody's having their freedom of beliefs. It's so important. And to really tap in and know that whatever it is we need to do in our lives that resonates with our soul and our journey, we move forward in that way. and be confident and feel safe. The Three of Discs, feel safe, feel protected with the Soul card. Let go of the unrest that you feel. Let go of that unrest and move forward as the King of Wands. And finish that journey that no longer suits you. So important. So I want to thank you very much. I did plan to clarify the deck, which in future videos that I do, I may decide to do that, but I let Spirit guide me. I let this journey of tarot, which I just absolutely love, guide me into what the message is. And there's always something in it for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if there's anything that you saw that was different than the cards that I pulled. I would love to hear your comments. I would really like to create a community of love and collectiveness and really finding our own truths and passion in this world. I feel that it's needed right now from all of us as a collective. What do we need to do to change ourselves, which ultimately will change the world as we see it and know it. So have a great, great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.